everybody, Matt Carpenter, College Aid Pro. Wanted to provide some commentary, some color, some context on some pretty big headlines that are buzzing around right now based on the Wall Street Journal article that went out yesterday talking about the 568 group of colleges, some of the most prestigious colleges in our country. And come to find out, some of these folks have allegedly been colluding with one another in cartel-like fashion to make college a little bit less affordable for some of the students and families applying there, and a little bit better for the bottom line at these colleges. You think? This is what happens, folks, right? At the end of the day, these are businesses. Now, they're nonprofit institutions, but one could also argue they're actually multi-billion-dollar corporations that just don't pay taxes, right? Now, I'm actually not going to paint them in a bad light because I've been talking to folks at a lot of these colleges, and generally what they've been telling me over the last 24 hours is, hey, listen, does this happen here from time to time? Yeah, it does. Business decisions get made occasionally, but for the most part, we're the good actors, specifically among private colleges. A lot of private colleges that aren't necessarily of our prestige, their words, not mine, are much worse in these types of transgressions. And again, we are not perfect, but generally speaking, we are among the most affordable or generous, I should say, among the most generous when it comes to need-based financial aid colleges in the country. And I would say that that's true, right? Generally speaking, that's true if you're eligible for need-based financial aid, which is a conversation for a different day, because just because you're not, for example, that doesn't mean you're necessarily a wealthy family. But what are our takeaways here? What does this mean? Well, the first thing is, let's not be naive. Right? These things happen from time to time. And again, these colleges that have allegedly made this a practice at their institutions, at least occasionally, I think they're getting a bad rap in some ways because there's many colleges that are doing similar things. They just don't grab the headlines as some of these particular institutions. So what does it mean to us as consumers? Well, again, number one, just knowing that it happens and being realistic. And number two, my problem with it is the lack of transparency, right? These are businesses at the end of the day. That's fine, but let's not pretend or hold ourselves out as practicing one way, but in reality, it doesn't really work that way. Just tell us what the deal is. I don't expect that to happen overnight, and that's what we're trying to solve for. We're trying to allow for parents to have a transparent experience, to know what are colleges actually going to cost them. Are they going to get financial aid? Should they get financial aid? Are they going to get scholarships? Should they get scholarships? And when they get accepted, is this a fair deal based on that particular student in that particular college? So again, let's not be naive. This is what happens here, but it doesn't mean we can't be smart consumers and still have a great outcome.